And as you can see in our first two examples, we are going to be using a number line. Our first two examples are the only two times that we are going to be using a number line. So here we go. Problem number one, we are going to start at positive 7. And then we look at this and we see we have a negative 10. Negative 10 means we are going to travel to the left 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we land at negative 3. And problem number 2, we start at negative 6. But this time we are going to travel positive 5. Now you take notice that Mrs. First did not say plus 5. She said positive 5. Okay, there's a reason for that. I want you to quickly realize that a positive sign looks like an addition sign. Okay, so we are now going to travel positive 5, which means we are going to travel to our right 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we end up at negative 1. Now, why was it that I did a number line for the first two examples? I did this so that you could get a visual picture as to what we are doing. We are going to be moving to the left, moving to the right on a number line. But we certainly do not want to be using a number line for all of our problems because our numbers are going to get bigger and we're going to be adding 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers at one time. So as you can see now, for examples 3, 4, and 5, I have no number lines. So I have to have some kind of other strategy. And the strategy that Mrs. First likes to use is money, because we've all had experience of money. We've all had money and we've all owed money. So when you see a positive number, I want you to think of it as having money in your pocket. When you see a negative number, I want you to look at it as owing money. Okay, and in math class, we always pay our debts. So in problem number 3, you're going to look at it as you owe Mrs. First $35 and you owe Mrs. First $18. So you'll ask yourself the question, do I still owe money or do I have money? So I owe $35, I owe $18. That means I still owe money. Well, how much money do I owe? Well, if I owe $35 to one person and $18 to another person, that means I have a grand total of $53 that I owe. So negative 35 and negative 8 is negative 53. Example number 4. This time we owe $19 to someone and we look in our back pocket and see that we have positive 36. Now remember what I said, we always pay our debts in math class. So I owe $36 and I owe $19 and I have 36. So you ask yourself, do I still owe money or do I have money? Well, this time I'm going to have money. Now remember, we pay all of our debts in math class, so we're going to pay that $19 that we owe. So we come along over here, we do some side work, and we figure out that we will have $17 left in our pocket. Okay, example number 5. Now we have $27 in our pocket and we owe someone $45. You have $27, you owe $45. The first question you ask yourself is, do I owe money or do I have money? Well, we're still going to owe money. How much am I going to owe? So again, you do some side work. Well, I owe $45, but I only have $27. That means I still owe $18. Now, I have created a little shortcut that will help you to remember this. It is called helpful hints. Same signs, right down here. Same signs, add the digits, keep the same sign. Mrs. First likes to call this same sign, take the sum, keep the same sign. And then our last one, different signs, subtract the smaller number from the larger and keep the sign of the larger. Mrs. First likes to call this different signs, take the difference, keep the sign of the larger. You will constantly hear Mrs. First repeat that. Same sign, take the sum, keep the same sign. Different sign, take the difference, keep the sign of the larger. That's going to be helpful in our last two examples, where now we're going to be dealing with bigger numbers and more numbers. So example number 7, here we go. The first thing we do is we just look at the first two numbers. This positive 47 just sits here and waits until we are ready to deal with it. So now we owe $29 and we owe 31. Same sign, take the sum, keep the same sign. So we're going to keep the same negative and we're going to take its sum. So we take 29 and we're going to add the 31 and we will get a negative 60. Now we are faced with different signs. So we go back to that little rhyme, different signs, take the difference, keep the sign of the larger. Well, our larger number is 60, so our answer is going to be negative. We take their difference. And we get negative 13. So we did this problem in 2 steps. One time we used our same sign, take the sum, keep the same sign. The next time we used our different sign, take the difference, keep the sign of the larger. And our final example. Again, we're just going to deal with the first two numbers, which means this negative 7 just has to wait. So we have different signs. So we will take the difference and keep the sign of the larger. Our larger number is negative, so we will keep a negative answer. The difference between 41 and 32 is 9. Now we have same signs, so we will take the sum, keep the same sign. Take the sum, 9 and 7 is 16, keep the same sign, negative 16. And that is how we add integers. Please check your Google Calendar for your homework and don't forget your exit ticket. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.